Well, look, Dani joins us now alongside Dr Zoe to share her experience of the perimenopause. Thank you, Dani, for coming in.
Morning.
Firstly, thank you for being so honest. I mean, I'd imagine that took some of your TikTok followers by surprise when you're suddenly telling them all those extraordinary things.
Yeah, I just wanted to be open about it because obviously I am on the younger side of it. And even though I think it's rare, I don't think it's that uncommon, especially looking through my comments. And so I just wanted to be quite open about it because actually I had quite a good experience with my GP. So I just wanted to make people aware that, you know, going to the GP can really, really help because I was just having such awful symptoms and I needed help with it.
I think what happens as well with it quite often is the symptoms kind of creep up on you and it's other people that actually notice them first of all. I think your husband, Simon, was the first person that was like, are you okay?
Yeah, I was literally like a different person. And to be honest, it was not long after I just had my son. So I wasn't really sure if it was just a case of like the baby blues.
Hormones?
Yeah, and hormones for sure. But I was honestly like a different person. It was almost like I was watching myself in a kind of weird way. I'd always suffered with depression and anxiety, but this was like on a completely different level. The mood swings were just out of control.
Sometimes, as Kat was saying, it's easy to see from afar. But I'd understand for your partner...
My poor partner.
Yeah. That's a sensitive thing to bring up, especially when you are so young, to suggest, oh, Dani, do you think you might be perimenopausal? How did that go down?
Do you know what? It went down all right. My partner is really quite tactful and it was fine, and he was a bit like, you know, you're being a little bit agitated by my breathing. Is everything all right? And, you know, it really wasn't like me. I am normally quite laid back. You'll probably disagree sometimes. But, yeah, I'm normally quite a chilled person and, you know, my sleep was all over the place. I'm normally a good 10-hour kind of gal. And, you know, that was kind of... And the hot sweats, oh, they are absolutely rank.
And it...
They really are. That was
She's
not
telling
pleasant.
it like it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's not great.
And it's affected, like, all different aspects of your life, like mentally, work. How's it affecting that?
The brain fog when you're an actor is really not ideal. The worst, I think, was doing panto and I was playing the fairy and you're on your own as a fairy doing monologues and going completely blank on stage and having to ask your MD for your lines is not ideal.
No.
But luckily, you can kind of shrug it off
The lovely thing
bit.
about panto, you can make the most of a moment like that, can't you?
And telling an entire audience, oh, sorry, going through menopause, everybody, apologies.
I bet there was a lot of sympathy in the audience for you as well.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that Dani, you're known for and you talked about in your TikTok there is your hair.
Yeah.
And actually the impact that can have, because yes, a bit of, but it's very much who you are. Your hair has always been big and lush and powerful part of who you are.
Yeah, I think this is what I'm struggling with the most because for me, my hair's my identity. It's kind of what I'm almost known for. So to be losing it is... I'm not a vain person at all.
Gosh, look at the clumps that are coming out.
Yeah, this was yesterday. And this is it improved as well. Like I'm taking supplements and gummies and I'm oiling my hair and this is it improved. It was almost sort of double the amount, you know, a month ago. And yeah, it's thinning and I'm having bald patches and yeah, it's starting to affect my self-esteem. You know, I come across very confident, but kind of behind closed doors, it is definitely taking its toll for sure.
So, Dr Zoe, how easy is it for women who are identifying with exactly what Dani is saying to go to their GP and get some help?
I think the key thing is you must go to your GP and ask for help. And people often say, at which point do you go?
Yeah.
At any point, really.
Okay.
You know, if you're having a set of symptoms that you think could be perimenopause, go and see your GP, go and see a practice nurse. Sometimes it's a good idea to ask the receptionist, is there a GP or a nurse that specialises in menopause? And I think, you know you hear all these horror stories of people having terrible experiences with GPs, and I can't personally vouch for everybody that does my job, but it has moved on. In the same way, we've all become much more aware and educated about menopause. Healthcare professionals have too. Every week in my inbox, there's a training course on menopause. So, in my opinion, GPs don't really have an excuse anymore to not be sensitive and not be treating this. I think the key thing is, my advice is, make a list of your symptoms. There are apps, there are downloadable lists so you can log your symptoms beforehand. Go in there and say, I want to share my symptoms. I think it could be menopause. If you're interested in HRT, say, I'd like to explore my options, including HRT. Now, your GP may not prescribe HRT on that first appointment because often we need to rule other things out. Right. Symptoms of menopause can overlap with just about anything because there's over 100 symptoms of menopause, perimenopause. So they might want to check your thyroid function, they might want to check you're not anemic. But they should offer you a follow-up. And usually, in most cases, if everything else has been ruled out and it's highly suspicious that this could be perimenopause and those symptoms are really affecting you, then unless there's a contraindication, such as you've previously had breast cancer, a 3-month trial of HRT is usually not going to do any significant harm. Make sure you know the pros and cons, weigh up the risks and benefits. But for most people who have symptoms, the benefits outweigh the risks.
And that's been great for you as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I feel a lot better and I feel like myself again. Obviously I still get moody, don't get me wrong, and I'm still a bit sweaty every now and again, but it's like
I do all of those things and I don't have
all
any
of the
excuse just yet, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like night and day, it really is.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you for coming in and talking about it.
No, thank you for having me.
It's a hugely important subject, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully those symptoms continue to improve as well for you.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.